I can never tell when it goes live. I think it just goes live like instantly. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode of PMP's Denim Antiquity, the second live stream of the year, and back to back too. Look at me go, man, doing 2 live streams in a row. Today we're just hanging out and just talking about all the stuff we have planned for Star Wars 2024, what Star Wars has planned for 2024, and I got the usual peeps with me today. How's everybody doing?
Good.
Well, I'm doing well.
Can't complain
Doing
too
fine.
much.
Nice. So we were just talking about, Nick, you said you're preparing for MegaCon.
Yeah, not a booth. Haven't been able to swing that one yet, but
well, at those prices, I don't blame you. You were showing me
crazy.
yesterday, and I was like, oh yeah, I was like, you and I are definitely going to be sharing.
We should split one. That would be fun, though.
Yeah, that would be sick. That'd be sick. I'm definitely down to do that next year.
Well, Nick, you do a booth every year, don't you?
Not at MegaCon, Comic-Con. So the prices are like a third of what they are. They're almost $2,000 at MegaCon for just a normal like size booth. It's crazy.
Yeah,
but yeah,
I imagine.
No, you can go.
No.
I was gonna kind of. No. I think it sounded like you were gonna continue with that. So just continue.
Oh, I was just saying. I think it's gonna be. Oh, look who showed up!
No way!
Wow.
Hey.
Well, good news
It's
is
peer
you sound
pressure.
good. I know we were doing audio before. You're coming across clear, so it's all good, all good. But no, for that MegaCon, it looks like you're paying those premium prices, but like you kept sending it to us in our Discord, like look at how many people are showing up. So like people are gonna show out for that. So I imagine like the return value is just through the roof.
That's probably why those prices are like that for sure.
Yeah, hopefully there's that many bangers next year, so we can
right
when we show up, we pull up.
Yeah, but basically I'm just finishing up my newest update for my Mando to wear there, and possibly Mosh Isley on the Saturday, but yeah.
Okay, can you explain that? Because like I see it all the time, but I don't really know what it is.
So I'm probably not. I don't know how well I can explain it. So basically, Mosh. If you guys know the Thank the Maker podcast or listen to them, they're a super great group of people that just are probably one of the most positive groups that speak about Star Wars, and a lot of them come from band backgrounds, mostly like punk, I believe, type bands. Some of them I think still tour, and they kind of just put their two passions together and created these things huge events called Mosh Isleys, and they basically rent out a space and they throw this big like mosh basically for Star Wars fans, and
3 a.m. at Denny's type.
Basically, I think that's when they end and stuff, but it just goes the entire night. The first one I believe was after Celebration or San Diego Comic-Con. I can't remember. I think this one's now their 4th or 5th one. It's gonna be in Orlando this time. The New York Comic-Con, the one that they had after New York Comic-Con, they started introducing like a story into like the party. So I hope they continue that over to this one, because that'd be cool to like kind of follow throughout the night. I'm excited for that.
Heck yeah, dude. That's cool. Yeah, because I always see it from the mutuals and stuff like that posting about it, but I was just like, is it like a band? Is it like a party? Like I didn't really know what to kind of expect with it, but that's cool. Maybe hopefully they'll come to Texas one day. Get my mosh on.
I was shocked that Orlando would be the next one, but I guess they just figured out that there was some big people coming, so the draw would be high, I guess. And I know for San Diego Comic-Con, I know a lot of the Star Wars people went to it. So a lot of, at least because a lot of the background behind the Thank the Maker, one of the hosts is, oh God, what's his name? I don't remember his name, but I know his Instagram. It's Hondo Supply. If any of you know him.
Yeah.
So his background is basically in like making and building and such like that. Probably not using the right terminologies here. But he also has his own podcast called Armor Party, which he brings on people, fans and people from the industry to kind of talk about building armor and such. So
Nice.
through that connection, there was a lot of people like Shauna Trippick. She was at the San Diego Comic-Con one, so she was like meeting people. So I hope maybe that draws celebrities into this one too.
Heck yeah, heck yeah.
I don't know.
Those minor-
Cameron
yeah, those
Monaghan
minor,
show up.
Yeah, those minor little instances where it's just like a little thing becoming something big can get big real quick.
Yeah.
I know ICC, it was just a Facebook group where all these top toy traders were going just to trade Star Wars and Marvel and stuff like that. The second that Michael Havens, great guy by the way, the second when he decided to host a convention, one of his earlier ones, I think it was the second or third one, he decided to have Daniel Logan as a guest, and he's one of the smaller Star Wars celebrities that still go to many conventions, right?
Yeah.
But he had such a fun time, and he's like, "Oh yeah, this is my whole gig. I'm gonna hook you up, man." You know, and he's I'm gonna hook you up, man.
Dad, Tom Weiss here.
Yeah, Tom Weiss here. But no, he's like, I'm gonna get you the Emperor. And then that's the year that I went, when they had the first Clone Wars reunion. They had Ian McDermott, they had Julian Glover, they had a bunch, Anthony Daniels. It went from semi, noticeable con in the area that people still draw their eye to towards this is now a cheaper Star Wars celebration, and they do this every year now. So
it is crazy what fans can pull off. That's for sure.
Yeah, the passion's definitely there.
Yeah, I definitely want to go to one of those. After Japan is like my full focus now.
Yes.
But as soon as Celebration Japan is done, hopefully it'll be back in the States again, so we won't have to like save crazy. I feel like if it's like in like I'll be like, oh, I can definitely go to like California or like Florida or something like that. I'd be like, if I could save for Japan anywhere in the United States, is like definitely possible. I'm like, it's nothing. So hopefully we get it. I don't see why, because like the past 2 years it's been out of the country, so I feel like the next year will be, and also they'll have like more movies, because there's like how many movies? There's like 4 or 5 movies slated right now. We just got the Mando movie announced, which we're going to talk about that here in a second.
Segue, yeah.
We have Dave Filoni's movie, we have the new Rey movie, we have allegedly Taika Waititi's movie still. Like I don't think that's been canceled, and then like there isn't there a fifth one?
The Jedi one.
Dawn of the Jedi.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't know if the director is doing it, but when we were at Celebration, they actually announced on stage the 3 new time eras that they'll be hosting content in. One of them was Dawn of the Jedi. Another one was the Old Republic, just straight up the Old Republic, and then New Jedi Order. And when I saw New Jedi Order, I'm like, no freaking way. I see, Mandalorian Luke's he's building his temple, and I know what happens after Return of the Jedi. This can't be real. And they're like, and the new leader of New Jedi Order is, and then Daisy Ridley walks on stage. I'm like, what? She wasn't even announced. I mean, this is cool. Not the New Jedi Order I was thinking about. I'm open to any new idea, but like, holy crap, she came out of like, she's like, yeah. Like, whoa. But yeah, that was pretty cool. And then I'll get into the next London Celebration thing that I would like to discuss Star Wars wise after. But yeah, definitely. I don't know, but I thought the Dave Filoni movie was going to be the Mando tie-in one that's coming out for the.
I don't think so. In one of the articles. Oh, sorry, Max.
Oh no! Well, let me lead into it, and then we'll go. Just hold your thought for a second. So,
sure.
So we got what's up, the Stanleys? Appreciate you popping in, my friend. We got news that we don't know if there's going to be a Mando season 4. I doubt it. I don't really foresee them doing like a season and a movie. But I was wondering what you guys thought of. A show that's been solely on Disney Plus now hitting the big screens, and how you feel about that compared to seeing it in like TV format.
I mean, I have 2 ways I'm thinking about this, because I mean, at the end of the day, we just don't have all the information. I wouldn't like it if it's just something where I don't know who the head of Disney is right now. Is it Bob Iger or Shane? Whichever one it is. Um, if they're just saying like, hey, we need a new Star Wars movie, turn this into a turn season 4 into a movie now and get it out there, then I'm going to be like, why did they do that? But if it was more for like story based reason, like they needed a way to have like say like Thrawn and his whole Night Sister shindig he's got going on, if Jon Favreau was just like, hey, this needs to be like more of a presence, more of like a big screen moment, then I'll be like, okay, that's a story reason why, and I'll be on board with it. But at the moment, I think it's just kind of hard to tell which direction it is going in or why they chose to do it like this.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. Where in a sense, I don't want it to be just like a nothing burger because it's modern Star Wars, so they feel the need to just build the story off of here's a cameo, here's a cameo. Like I want new story. Don't get me wrong. Like Mandalorian season 1 and 2, like top Star Wars show wise, right? In my opinion. But when it comes down to, I think I seen, I think it was Mortis FM, another Star Wars YouTuber channel. They said Din Djarin is the kingmaker. You know, he's helping Ahsoka. He's helping Grief Karga. He's the support guy. You know, he's always helping these character built in their own world situations. Even Boba Fett, you know, he's helping him get back on his feet in a way, right? Taking on that trucking job or whatever they're fighting on top with Bill Burr's character. So he's like the support character. I don't mind that being the case, but I also need a story built kind of off of who he is, like what his own identity is as well. Because if he's just the character that's cool because he's supporting everyone, then I guess you can really throw him in anything and be like, hey, that's the guy. But I don't want just, hey, that's the guy, right? I want something substantial. I don't want an appetizer. I want the main course, right? No. And you see like Ahsoka season 2 was, I think, teased, I guess, or whatever Dave Filoni's sketch was on Instagram.
Yeah, the Mortis hand.
Yeah, and it was Ahsoka in the front, and then some person behind her. It says so. It
probably Sabine, if I had to guess.
Sabine. Yeah,
which betting man.
which draws the mind, because if that's like the father statue, right, where Balin was standing, what they do with Ray Stevens' character? I mean,
they're gonna recast him, dude. Like I feel like that's the only way. Like, there's no other way to do that, because like he's not dead. Like, they're not just gonna write him out of the story. He seems like he has a really big role to fill, like, or they're gonna like kind of do what they did with Luke, where they'll like deep fake him and then they'll kill him off early in the second season.
Yeah, I don't know, man. He's like Dooku Vader. Like, he was one of the he's that kind of elegance to him, but he's also a tank, right?
Yeah.
So he's like one of those guys that when watching Ahsoka, you just can't take your eyes off of, because he's carrying the scenes that he's in. He's just such a fantastic performance that recasting, I just don't know how I feel about that. It would have to be real good.
Yeah.
Right? And even besides the recasting, it has to keep you in the mood of whatever's being shown on screen, because you have those shoes to fill with Ray Stevens' character.
Yeah.
And what new story they're going to draw with that recasting, if that ends up happening.
The Stanley's says that it's going to be 6 episodes followed by a movie, which is like super weird to me, if that's the case.
I haven't heard that one yet, but I have heard that it might be as well as season 4. I forget what article that was in, but Star Wars Explained kind of talked about it, I believe. And they basically said it would be the movie. I guess the StarWars.com article basically said the Mandalorian and Grogu movie will be the first movie of the new ones.
Yeah.
But it sounded like from a different article that there will be a Mandalorian season 4, but like after the movie comes out, so a little bit later in the years.
Oh, okay.
So I guess it would technically be like Mandalorian season 5, maybe.
I don't know. It's just after season 3's end, they do like the Looney Tunes, like camera shrinks down on Grogu in the pond or whatever, and then it's end. They get the happy ending. They're at the homestead. They got their place to settle down, and it's like season 4 in a movie. Okay, I guess we're going back on the road. So I just don't know if it's one of those characters that have a stance like Obi-Wan, that has his own story, is very strong and supporting, but people latch on to because of their own story as well, too. Not that it's just like, oh, okay, we're done with the prequels. Now we need an Obi-Wan show and a movie. We get the show. Mixed opinions, are out there, but it's just a different vibe because of the character that it's being put on. But who knows? I could eat my words, because when Mandalorian was first coming out, I was like, it's not Boba Fett. What?
Boba Fett? Where?
Right?
Nowhere.
But Sarah and Rex, you guys have been pretty quiet. What do you guys think about the Mandalorian hitting the big screen?
Honestly, I mean, I prefer it this way, kind of like hopping off of what JT said. To me, it's just too much if they're like, okay, we're having a movie and then we're going to have a season 4. It's like, guys, no. The way they ended season 3 was kind of like, okay, that's the end of that arc. Now let's transition into Ahsoka and Thrawn, which is basically what we've all been waiting for, because they're leading up to it for so long. So it's best that they just stick to the movie. That way they have more time to kind of spread things out instead of just cramming it into like an 8-episode season. I'm really tired. I don't know about you guys, but I'm tired of the 8 episodes.
This might be a hot take. I'm tired of the Disney Plus era shows. I'm tired of shows in general. I want movies now.
Whatever you think of Ahsoka still being alive and being carried through the entire events of like her show in that time period, whatever you think about that, put that aside. The way Ahsoka ends with Thrawn being like, "Hey, I'm back," and it being post Return of the Jedi in that era, that can't shout anything but good, right? It is like Heir to the Empire era. We got the guy.
Well, I think that's going to be Dave's
promising.
movie. I think that John and Dave are going to do, because I think they're both titled for the movie. I just don't know. And Rex, I want to get your opinions because I haven't heard you yet. We'll start with that, and then I'll go on to the next thought.
Yeah, well, I am partial to the fact that we're getting a Mando movie, mostly because, first of all, it was announced as a Mandalorian and Grogu movie, so I think they are going the same way, where it's going to be made to sell rather than to give you a good story. So they are going to have a lot of Baby Yoda merchandise.
Yeah, they gotta sell that Yoda merch for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I have a feeling that it's going to be the same story of Mando needing something. The antagonist has this something, and will be like, "Hey, I can give you this, but you have to do me a favor first." And that will be the same format, but in a 2-hour long episode instead of what we got.
I hope not, man. I hope it's not that kind of formula. I know what you're talking about, that kind of formulaic where it's just like you seem like he gets one quest and then like along the way he gets like 10 other quests that he's got to do. And it's like that when you're playing, you have like ADHD and you're playing a video game, you're like, okay, you have to go like slay the dragon in the castle, and then along the way as you're making your way to the castle, you pick up like, oh, you got to go pick up like flowers for the fairy princess.
He's leveling up, man. He's trying to get that XP.
Yeah, he's got to grab all the XP. So I agree. I hope it's not that kind of. I think that's kind of what at least in my opinion, for me, what really put a damper on season 3 is because I felt like season 3 was a lot more of the same instead of like kind of progress. And there was good stuff in season 3. I'm not trying to say season 3 was all bad, but it's just, it did kind of have that kind of like they're sticking to like their formula, and it just didn't, I don't know, it kind of felt a little weird, disjointed.
Dude, Rex touched on that merchandise. You couldn't be more right, friend. When Grogu hit the shelves, and they even tried to give him a name to her, like Ahsoka makes her, first debut in the Mandalorian episode. I think it was episode 5 or something. I forget what episode. And they're talking. There's like, oh, that's Grogu. Yeah, he lived 50 years. The whole fan base is like, still Baby Yoda. I don't know.
yeah, still Baby Yoda. Goodman was asking about the Skeleton Crew. As far as I don't know about you guys. I know it's still rumored to come out this year, but I don't really have any other besides it's Jude Law and a whole bunch of kids and it's the Goonies, and Star Wars. That's kind of my info. Do you guys know anything else besides that?
Dude, I was at Celebration and I
still don't know.
I couldn't tell you. Jude Law's a great actor though, man. Cold Mountain. I liked his role as the Kree in Captain Marvel at the time. But yeah, when I saw the Goonies aspect of it, and then you get Star Wars Visions 2 that comes out, that one episode with the Shrieker's Peak or something.
Yeah.
The kids like venture off into the cave, and she's the only one that stays, and she becomes the Sith.
That was kind of cool. I actually really dug that one.
That was like the Goon, like what I was thinking in my mind it could be, but
dude, that'd be sick if one was like force sensitive, or like they were maybe like all force sensitive, and like it could be like those episodes in I forget what season it's in. I want to say it's in like 3 or 4 with the Ahsoka and the trainees where they're like trying to escape Hondo's like palace and stuff like that.
Sure.
Could kind of be like shenanigans like that. Where they're
Hondo
like,
better be in it. I swear to
dude,
God.
I know. Right? Well, I think
too long.
The guy in Mandalorian, in the newest season, the pirate guy that like flies off at the end.
Yeah,
I think he's gonna be one of the. I don't know if he's like the big bad, but I know he's one of like the bad guys. Which I actually liked his character in the like. I thought the as far as like makeup and prosthetics goes. Like,
yes,
great. Yeah, right. Like he looked freaking awesome. So I'm excited.
I think it was a huge step forward from Cat Bane to this Bane. I think it was a huge improvement.
Yeah. I mean, and I even think they knocked out the Cad Bane super well. Like I feel like you can really tell looking from like the 70s to like now how much like the facial mechanics and the sculpting and all that stuff has improved and the technology's improved. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Well,
sorry, go ahead.
I was just gonna say at Star Wars Celebration they had like an exploded view of what like the Cad Bane mask looked like. I don't know if you've ever looked up a picture of that, but it's crazy looking.
Here, let me see.
I was gonna touch on when you see Cad Bane, coming from the horizon, you see his silhouette. Like, regardless of any up close shot, what do you think about the prosthetic? You see his silhouette in the distance. Like with the hazy horizon, like
dude, I was flipping out.
You can tell right away that's Cad Bane. That's just him. It's him. He could have looked better. I've seen the edit that someone did where they elongated digitally his face and made his skin a little bit darker blue, fixed up his teeth a little, I guess, or something like that. Looks good, but with what they did, it's him. It's the character. Dude, I can't complain.
I'm gonna pull a strike here, and I was just like, I didn't like that they gave his like. I know it's a small nitpick. I don't like that his gauntlets are blue. It looks super like out of pocket and like. I didn't even notice. Yeah, his gauntlets are blue. Like,
are they not in like the show?
No, they're like dark. Here, I'll
like
pull
a gray, like a dark gray or something.
Yeah, I'm gonna pull up the. Let me present this because I found the exploded view of like, dude, it's kind of creepy. The exploded view of the.
I know, right?
The Cad Bane.
Well, let me. The quack they're calling those stifling slimy.
Let's see if I can share this. There you go. Yeah, you can see kind of the exploded, exploded view of that. But yeah, no, you can see. Okay, so here,
it's
let me.
Stuff of nightmares right there.
Okay, so you see like here or here. It's a better one. You see it's blue here. And then is there like a? Let's see if there's a. Well, I'll just type in Clone Wars. Clone Wars Cad Bane, and you can see it in the show. Yeah, see, it's like a darker color.
It is really bright blue for sure.
Okay.
And it just like, to me, I don't know, that just doesn't look. It doesn't fit the rest of his outfit. Like, I get they were probably trying to add some more poppiness to it. And the Stanley is just like, it's all about the hat, bro. Look at that hat. That hat's gross. This one's got the swag to it, man. Big hat.
That's the one he stole when he was in the box arc, right?
Yeah,
he's like your hat. So. The guy and takes his.
Yeah, it resembles, I think, the one from Bad Batch a little more too.
Yeah, it's a little shorter. It has
you can tell it's him though. Like you could.
Hey, Charlie, what's going on, man?
Hey, Charlie.
What up?
We're discussing
Where
Cad
we-
Bane.
Where are we at?
Ooh.
I seen Book of Boba, Cad Bane. Try to get some of it.
Yeah,
So,
we're just talking about all the new shows. The Stanley going back to hopping back because I missed the Stanley's comment. So I guess Jude Law's supposed to be a Jedi or a former Jedi. Okay, I thought he
Yeah,
was going to be like more like a smuggler.
That's
Like
what I
a
heard.
Jedi in hiding. Yeah.
Yeah, didn't JT?
okay.
You were at the panel. Didn't he like use the Force or something in the little clip that they showed?
It was a lot of this. You know, he's dramatically looks off into the distance.
Nice, very nice.
What I did like though, and what I was mentioning earlier about the London thing I wanted to touch on later. I guess I could say it now. I've said it before in one of your podcasts, but if you guys haven't heard me say it already, prepare to have your mind blown, I guess, somewhat. While I was at Celebration and they were showing the Acolyte trailer to us. They had. So, do you remember the Old Republic cinematics when
How could you not?
when Malgus storms the temple? You know, the Jedi jump down there like, "What are you doing here?" And then the gunship flies in and he drops his Sith acolytes off, and they all do that scene where it's like they all activate at the same time like that.
Yeah.
There's a shot like that in the Acolyte trailer
Whoa.
where so it's
Oh.
Old Republic, obviously, right? So they have the gold trim and like the elegant, like
Oh.
really cool aesthetic, but it's like yellow, green, blue, like
Oh,
Yeah, to see.
that shows me so good.
yeah.
Oh my god.
Well, that's supposedly that's still supposed to be coming out this year too, because I looked it up and it's still slated for 20. I mean, who knows? But it'll probably be at the end. You know, we'll probably get a lot of these kind of during the fall. Yeah, I agree. We better get something, man.
December
But,
24th.
But yeah, we don't really have much on the Acolyte either. We kind of know like loosely what the story is going to be about. Know that there's a Wookiee Jedi because they're like blasting that everywhere, which they should because Wookiee Jedis are awesome. Played by
Jedi.
I'm glad that Jonas is getting more Star Wars. I think he came
out on costume on stage.
Well, he's the best bet after Peter Mayhew. Like I just don't know who else would have done. Like he nailed Chewbacca. Like as much as I don't really care for the sequels, I think he nailed Chewbacca and his mannerisms and stuff like that in the sequel trilogy and stuff. So
Yeah.
I'm excited to see, and I guess in Solo as well. He was played in Solo, but I'm excited to see him like get some like Wookiees with some movement. You know, we get kind of Gungy in the animated stuff, but I want to see a live action Jedi Wookiee. That sounds so freaking
You
sick.
know, it's funny you should say that. There is one out there.
Go ahead, Charlie.
You already know.
We're all
Yeah,
like,
I mean,
here we go.
the champion, the true chosen one, Lumpy from the holiday special, is out there. So I mean,
It's true. Very true.
No, it's funny that you mentioned like JT, like with the Acolyte and everything, because it's what or New Republic or High Republic. I can't keep up.
It's one
High
of it's,
Republic.
it's the one of the
Yeah.
republics that's before Phantom Menace.
I'm like, it's one of the. There's so many now. I can't keep.
New
up.
New Republic is like Thrawn era. Like
Yeah.
Okay, New Republic. Okay, so High Republic. So
it's weird, I
it's
know.
funny how we were just kind of mentioning this. I don't know, a while back, how I was saying I want to see more Old Republic stuff because that's got to be one of my favorite era of Star Wars, like timeline wise, because it was like at the peak of when the Jedi and the Sith were like at the top of the top. Like the Sith were dominating; they took over the galaxy at one point, and we've never seen that side of the darkness like at all in the Star Wars universe. I mean, Revenge of the Sith, you could probably argue, and somewhat of the Fallen Order Jedi Survivor series, but those are tiny touches. But it's like we haven't seen like the birth of the Jedi, kind of like how they started to where they led up to where they're at now. So that's what I've been waiting for. So eventually, I don't know when the movies or shows, however they're going to do it, eventually they pull that out, because those cinematics from the video games alone is what got me into the Old Republic and diving deep into that lore. So the day they announce that there's going to be an Old Republic movie, you're just going to see my brain explode.
Could you imagine if we got like a Bane like
Damn it, you beat me
trilogy
to
or
it.
something like that. Like, dude, that would be sick. Because like I'm not gonna pretend like I know a whole bunch of it. I know like little snippets of it. I haven't read his book yet.
Dude.
His autobiography.
You only need to know 2 words.
Thought bomb.
Thought bomb.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that live action, oh my God.
But
It
like,
would take someone like Christopher Nolan or something like that to do that. That's
I think that Sarah, touching on your point is I think that's what they're kind of prepping us for. We got like the High Republic books and the comic books, and the Acolytes kind of like it's not the old Republic, but it's like the right before Phantom Menace, like 100 years or so before it. So I think they're kind of prepping us to kind of step into that world, because there's so like I think that's the most like. There's so much information there that you can interpret and kind of make your own, because it's all like extended universe and EU stuff. Or I guess EU stands for extended universe. I just said extended universe, but
The extended universe.
the extended cut. But man, I mean, you got the Mandalorian Wars, you got the Hyperspace Wars. I know that they're doing the Dawn of the Jedi, which is before all that stuff. But we got KOTOR. Like, there's so much that they could take. Like, that's what I think Star Wars really needs is like I think we kind of need to step away from the universe that we know, like the Cad Banes and the Skywalkers and the Boba Fett's and all that stuff. Like, I feel like we're getting too much of that stuff. I feel like we need to step off into like creating something new with like these High Republic or not the Acolyte characters, and like going back even further. I mean, you can sprinkle in like if they did a Bane or if they did Revan or like a Bastila or Satele, like any of those, like that'd be so cool,
Yeah, that's the argument that I hear. Like, with all these Star Wars shows coming out, why don't we get a Vader show? Okay, as much as I agree with you and how awesome that would be,
Yeah.
Star Wars like movies 1 through 6 is Vader's.
Yeah, it's Vader.
Right?
Yeah.
We get the comic books though. I mean, my favorite Vader comic like miniseries is Purge. That's literally just him fresh new in the suit hunting down Jedi. Like that's just straight up it. But what you were touching on earlier with the basically spoon feeding these ideas to the fans, like kind of simmering them into the idea of the High Republic with the Acolyte coming out. Well, they've been doing this in little ways here and there with little tiny novels, the comic books, and stuff like Survivor. I mean, one of the things on Kobo is like these big cubes that you go in. It's like an elevator to the earth, and they got like the gold trim on the walls and everything. They're like High Republic temples, I guess. I don't know how to call it. But even one of like the visions that the force tiers that you do in the game is Dagan Gera. Like you're learning more about him. You're inside of this decrepit High Republic temple listening to Santari Kree or something, and Dagan Gera's doing his like killing the Jedi to try to get to where he needs to be. But you're inside of this like gold laced temple. Like they're trying to subliminally put those aesthetics into the common public, which is cool. It's a slow brew, but it's
High Republic. The Jedi definitely got the drip. That's for sure.
I know nothing about High Republic either. I know nothing about it, but it's one of those rabbit holes that you just have to get the will confidence and just dive right into.
Yeah. I just know it from the video games because like I played KOTOR, then the Star Wars, the Old Republic. Like that's like my like very limited knowledge of that because like those games are massive too. So it's like I haven't
those novels, man.
Yeah, the novels.
The Old Republic specifically, there's a lot of EU books out there. Not so many comic books. There's a few out there. I know the Knights of the Old Republic comic book series is like 50 issues. There's like a free trade Old Republic one, and then there's like sprinkled in miniseries out there to like Knights Errant or something like that. But the Force works where the wills will balance it out. If there's too many Sith, they'll throw in some Jedi. If there's too many Jedi, they'll throw in some Sith. So I like to think of the Old Republic as the inverse prequels, right?
Yeah.
So like the Sith are in hiding, the Jedi are on this, they have a literal high chair, right, inside of this this chamber room. But the Sith come out of hiding, they overtake the Jedi, right? Boom, Empire era, right? Sith fall, Jedi come up in New Jedi Order, boom, Luke, what's after that? You can go infinitely down the line to like Legacy and all that. But like what Sarah was talking about with Old Republic, these are like prime Force users, right? Predominantly Sith. So that makes it interesting to be a Jedi in that era because you're also in a hiding aspect, but you also have the skills with you, Force power wise. It is kind of like listening to a video game if you've ever listened to one of the audiobooks. It's like playing a video game, but just like in your head, which is awesome to think.
Those are fun.
I would just like to add one more thing.
Go for it. Go for it.
Old Republic stuff. I was actually having a conversation with one of my friends about this, like why I like the Old Republic so much is because the difference between that and the Jedi, how we kind of know them now, is we saw how they got so good at the lightsaber combat because they were getting whooped by the Sith. Like they were on the brink of extinction, the Jedi. And, you know, they finally, after going through so many like civil wars, galactic wars, they were like, okay, we need to like step it up. Otherwise we're all going to like die. So they learned hand-to-hand combat with the lightsaber because before they would just basically jump into it and just get massacred and they're like, okay, retreat. And then how they connected with the Force was on an even deeper level than kind of like, okay, just meditation, you know, going in within yourself, trusting yourself on instincts. Like I won't get too crazy into it, but they go more into depth of it. And it's the true like prime of the Jedi. And the Sith, how they were so power hungry, and it wasn't so much they wanted revenge on the Jedi, it was just like a power trip and a control trip, you know, like let's just take over as much as we can and see what we can do with this. And the Jedi in the Old Republic also broke the code too, you know, like there's one Jedi in particular, Satele Shan, she was like one of the Grand Masters. Yep, Charlie.
Yep.
Or Charlie.
I know
One of the
exactly
coolest sabers, dude. The engraving on her saber is so
She
sick.
Kamehamehas him through the mountain.
Dear God, yes. That saber. Sorry, Sarah. You carry on after this, but I love the fact that that's Revan's great descendant, and that's the kyber crystal that Exar Kun used, and that just gets lost in the minutia. And yes, that carry on. I'll fanboy out over stuff like that.
No, you're good. No, I saw you perked up, and I'm like, yep, he knows. That's good. But yeah, she broke the code with, I believe it was a clone trooper, and they had a kid. So I'm like, oh, so it wasn't like so much of a surprise to me that Anakin and Padme broke the code, and I'm sure other Jedi too, and everything. Kind of like how we see Cal eventually breaks the code. You know, attachments and everything. So I mean, truly, it's impossible. I know for sure I'd break it in seconds.
Well, that's the thing too, though. It's like I think it's like almost like a misguided thing because you know we see Luke in the OT trilogy, like that's what makes Luke is like he was like, no, I'm not gonna just like cut myself off and like forget. Like Yoda wants him to stay on Dagobah. He doesn't want him to go save his friends and have attachments and stuff like that. And Luke's like, no, like that's what makes me me. That's what makes me a good person is my friends, and I gotta be there for them because they're there for me, and I know they'd be there for me. Like, Han basically saved me from Vader being blown up, and then we blew up the Death Star together, you know. So it's like that. Good times, yeah. Good. Well, maybe not for the people on the Death Star that blew up.
Well, look, you know what? You start out with
have a good argument for that, but
you know what? No, they deserved whatever. Carry on.
But it was, you know, it's that I was talking with Zach yesterday about the foretelling and how his character in the foretelling, you know, isn't necessarily evil. He just has a skewed perception of like what is the right move forward. And I think that's kind of what the Jedi had, especially during the prequel era. They were in the middle of one of the biggest, like, I guess, planets and cities in the world, being Coruscant, and they were like governed by the government and not by like the Force, which they should have been. And I'm kind of mumbling now and pandering on, but my point is that I think that instead of being like, oh, you can't have attachments that like run your life. Like you can't be guided by those attachments. Like Anakin was like, all right, Padme's everything to me. I can't lose her like I lost my mom. I'm gonna basically do whatever it takes, kill whoever I have to, sacrifice everything for her, and he's being guided by the attachment. So it's like I would like to see a story kind of like what you were saying, is like of showing that you can have attachments and yet like it's not I just lost my thought. Damn it.
Use it to your advantage.
But yeah, just having attachments but not letting it guide you and kind of like playing along those themes. I think that would be something that would be kind of sick to do.
Max, is that an absolute?
Maybe, man. Maybe.
Remember, not a complete absolute. Again, if you haven't seen the British dude who does the sketches and everything like that of Qui-Gon reacts to everything.
Oh yeah, those are funny.
Please go watch them, guys. They're comedy gold. I love that guy. But nah, definitely Max 1,000,000,000%. I mean, it's not until like Luke comes along, whenever he's just like, guys, come on, and everything like that, and he actually uses like the attachments and stuff like that to the advantage and stuff like that. In Empire, I mean, it's kind of he kind of loses a hand, but and learns some information, but. It's a learned thing, so it's not too bad. You can get a cybernetic hand nowadays. You're fine.
Yeah, it's all good.
One could argue. I mean, at the time she didn't practice it at all, but Leia on the Falcon coming back to Bespin to rescue Luke, that's an attachment, right?
Yeah.
The faith in friendship, but it also comes down to Luke jumping in the X-Wing and be like, no, we're going to the Dagobah system. And then they split off in their own ways, right? So it's like you said, it's that fine line of not letting it control your life. Very, very few instances do attachments like that or any kind of personal drama with the Jedi, do they come out on top? Very, very few. That's why it's generally frowned upon.
Well, because in the I'm gonna refer to you guys who have a little bit more Old Republic knowledge, but didn't like in the games, it's Satele. No, it's Bastila.
Bastila Shan, Satele Shan. One of them became a Grand Master, actually.
Yeah, but Bastila turned to the dark side, and Revan had to like save her, right? So like that.
They would end up becoming close with each other. And with their look, war times does things, okay? It happens. So it turns out when you're
Ebon Hogs, so a rock.
Yeah, it turns out when your a-hole apprentice tries to shoot you down, stupid Malik, on the vessel and everything, and you form like an attachment, and then all of a sudden your mind gets wiped. Next thing you know, you wake up and you're like, wait, I'm Revan? What? And you lose things. Things happen.
Charlie's subtle, stupid Malik.
He had to
Go get a jaw, loser.
It's what he got for trying to swing on Revan like that. He's trying to teach him lightsaber stuff, and we had to jump in there and do some more. Zoink.
He's eating his space apples. He's drinking his space applesauce through his mouth hole because he can't chew food, and they point and laugh at him.
What as far as like everything that's been announced and supposedly in 2024, what are each of you looking forward to the most? Like, what project sparks the most interest for you guys?
Well, I have one question.
Go for it.
Everybody's bringing up great material, what y'all like to see and stuff. So, which one y'all rather have, live action or animated?
I think live action.
For what story? It depends.
Okay,
for which type of story are we talking about? Because I think
I'm just talking about just in general.
In general,
yeah.
Well, you can do a lot more.
You can do a lot, and when I say a lot, you could do a lot with animation.
I know where you're going.
Yeah. I don't know.
I just like the physicality of live action.
As a prop maker, it is relief to have something physically ready in live action rather than turning it from animated to something that, this is physically impossible. No human can fit in that.
I will answer that with a past answered ultimatum, which was, what would you prefer? An animated version of the movie Revenge of the Sith or a live action Clone Wars arc? And I always stand with live action Clone Wars arc.
Yeah.
Yeah.
100%.
I think after Ahsoka, we were all just like, "Give us that show now!"
Dude, I'm
how-
still on cloud.
Like,
That is
how-
that flashback episode with all of her like her in mind stuff.
Shadow Warrior, good man.
Everything I wanted to see. You asked me as a kid before even like the Clone Wars like dropping as a kid, all these episodes and everything. Like, what do you want to see? What's the main thing that you want to see Star Wars if you could make anything live action Clone Wars? What do we get? Anakin in the armor. We get young Ahsoka. We get everything.
Bro, just make it a limited series. Like, it doesn't. I mean, if it's a longer one, great. But like, I'll take 6 episodes. As much as I want more. Like, I'd be happy with 6.
You tell me you wouldn't want that live action?
Oh, 100%, 100%.
Just saying. Just saying.
Well,
Charlie, you're playing the harp right now. I'm loving what you're saying.
I don't care.
JT's like, Charlie, you're awesome, dude. You're saying I don't give a crap what you think.
I'm
JT's
sorry.
out here trying to hype Charlie up, and
Sorry.
Charlie's just like, screw you. I'm not.
Charlie of the chosen one.
I actually just remembered something I wanted to say while we were touching on the old Republic stuff.
Go
When,
for it.
Charlie, when you brought up so and so's crystal was ended up passing down. I think it was Revan to Satele or something like that.
Yeah, Exar Kun.
Okay, this is how I want the future of Star Wars to go personally. I don't want support characters like Mandalorian to be the kingmaker. If a new character is going to be introduced and do their own stuff, if they're going to use the nostalgic tactic, at least have that relate into something that has already been built and loved. So, I mean, the Old Republic is a perfect era to do that in because it's constant hand-me-downs. Was it Bane went to Tulak Horde's temple, found a holocron, and or vice versa, or I forget what order.
He went.
But knowledge was passed down to these characters. That ties all of this together, and to me, that is super cool. This even with the Clone Wars, you can love or hate Ahsoka. The fact that she's Anakin Skywalker, the greatest Jedi of the prequel of like all time, the greatest Jedi of all time. She's the apprentice. Even if you want to take it as a what if, that's like a very cool what if because that plays with the entire what could happen in that era, right? Because eventually, if you think about it, Yoda trained Ahsoka. Yoda trains Dooku. Dooku trains Qui-Gon. Qui-Gon trains Obi-Wan. Obi-Wan, Anakin. Anakin, Ahsoka. The line goes right down. It's introducing a new character that can build off of pre-existing ones, even ones she's fighting with. I mean, she's fighting with Anakin in the Clone Wars, right? As a teenager, and she's winning, and she's developing as a character. She's doing cool things on her own right. She's like guarding 5 younglings like by herself against Grievous or something like that, you know? Like she doesn't have to get in her starfighter and go off and help some frog lady drop off an exit in a spa, right? Like,
hey man, that episode's good. I like the spiders and them having to fight all the spiders.
It's a cool episode, but it's a cool episode for world building. Storyline,
for sure. Yeah.
It means
Right.
Yeah.
But that's how I would like them to handle those type of things. And that's another reason I think shows that are coming out are kind of struggling. And stuff like Tales of the Jedi are up on top because it's pre-existing stuff we like. It's extra stories.
Well, let's move into that.
That's what I was,
Let's move into that because
that's
Goodman, yeah, here, give me one. Let me introduce it, and then we'll Charlie. I'll have you say because I know that's your jam. Goodman was saying that he's excited for season 2 because we're gonna get that, and then we're gonna get season 3 of Bad Batch. We'll start with Tales, and then we'll move on to Bad Batch. Charlie, what do you want to see from the season 2? Because we don't know what we're getting yet. We don't know how many arcs or anything.
Well, I wouldn't have known anything otherwise the other day, and I know we chatted about it, but Sam Witwer's been busy recently, and I would not mind if he does another like little audio thing, except we get a Son of Dathomir redo of that. But also, add on to that, for Tales, if it's still at the same time here, it doesn't have to be. I really, if they don't do a novel on him, they need to do one of Balin's skull of whenever his past.
Yeah, that'd be sick.
Yes.
What did this thing? Why did he turn out the way that he did? I mean, we all know Order 66, but still, before that, what was he like before then? Pick up to that, maybe a chapter 2 of that whenever he finds Shin or anything like that, and little stuff like that. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, that'd be sick. For sure.
I am down for anything new Star Wars, even if it's like New Jedi Order with Rey. I'll always give it a chance. Right?
Yeah,
I'll
for sure.
watch it first. But it's a double-edged sword, because as much as I want to see a Balin Skull prequel or growing up era, not having it also kind of gives it some cadence to the character as well, because it makes you wonder, right? It's like going back in the 70s and Yoda's talking about the Force. Like, what's the Force? It's the magic. You do, but you don't want to learn more about it, because it hurts and answers those questions at the same time. They go through it in the Clone Wars. They tried to describe it with the wills and how it's like it's fate that you can't change, that happens inevitably, right?
Yeah.
The common my parents, they didn't know this back in the day. They just want to know why some green frog's able to levitate a ship out of a pond, right?
What is the Clone Wars?
Yeah, the Clone Wars, and even George just throwing that in the beginning of the movie with Ben and Luke's like little chat, like, you served my father in the Clone Wars. Boom, 7 seasons. Here, have a spin-off show. Like, it's like you can go off the train just by saying something like that and throwing in a little bit of a mind twist without digging into it too much, which is good. But it makes you like Charlie and me, quite frankly, too. I want to see some Balin Skull stuff. Anything new Star Wars, right? But it's that double-edged sword.
Nick, Sarah, Rex, what do you guys want to see from season 2 of Tales? Any Jedi you want to see explored?
Oh. Carry on, Sarah. I know we're carry on.
I haven't even talked and I'm already laughing. It's funny. I was actually scrolling through like comments, what people were kind of saying what they wanted to see in season 2 of Tales of the Jedi, and one of them was actually Taron Malicos from Jedi Fallen Order.
Oh,
and I thought that was a really good one, because we just meet him on Dathomir, and he's like this weird looking homeless dude for a brief minute. He's like, "Hi, I'm Jedi," and Cal's like, "What the heck's that?" Anyway, we just kind of get glimpses of when he crashed on Dathomir, but it kind of would have been cool to see his past of when he was a Jedi at some point, and kind of how he fell into that position, because we just kind of see at that point he's corrupted by the dark side, but we didn't see like his life before. So I thought that was interesting. There's one other character that I wanted to see for Tales, but I'm blanking out. It's killing me. I don't know who it was, but if it comes back to me, I'll bring him up. But that's one of them so far.
I think we got a Ian McIntyre prequel, didn't we? It
was like Liam McIntyre.
Liam McIntyre. It's a
Liam
smart
McIntyre,
kid, right?
Australian guy.
Yeah.
Great guy, funny guy, nerd like us. He would jump I promise you, he would jump in a second to do something like that again. I promise you
That'd
that.
be cool.
What does he voice? Malicos? So who is that?
Yes, Spartacus.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's him.
Oh,
Okay, I didn't know that he was the
That's
one.
him.
That
I had
didn't
no
know.
idea.
Liam McIntyre.
That's him.
Charlie was actually the one that told that to me, and I've not
Yes.
seen Spartacus. I'm like, oh, that's cool
crazy.
that he's like a
We
main
worked with him,
franchise.
yeah. Or
Yeah.
but yes,
But
yeah,
Karen-
yeah. Well, was Liam, the guy?
Yeah.
Yeah. See, he remembers it. Yeah, we've been around. But yeah, he played Weather Wizard. Like he's a big, he nerd. Okay, complete opposite. But I'll get back on track. He worked on Flash with Mark Hamill, and he didn't care about the Flash. He's like, I want to know about Star Wars. Tell me about Star Wars, please. So the moment he landed that little thing for the game, he was just like, yes. So yeah, I can guarantee you that Australian amazing human being would jump at the chance to doing that, because that man is deadly when it comes to swords and just the kindest, kindest soul ever, because those Kiwis don't mess around. No,
And you
they really don't.
really,
They really don't.
JT never saw Spartacus.
I know it hurts me.
I haven't
Liam-
seen it
Liam-
either. To add to the fire.
Taron Malikos is one of those Balin Skull type characters too. That is kind of
Definitely.
like he has that mysticism to him that you don't know a lot about that you want to, but same kind of boat.
It's good.
Nick, Rex, what about you guys with wanting to see?
I don't
Stuff.
know. I haven't really given it much thoughts. I don't have anything for that show.
Okay.
I'm
about
excited to see anything.
Yeah, well, I mean, if Dave's right, well, because like I don't know what Dave's like knowledge is. I'd like to see some Old Republic Jedi or something like that. That'd be cool, but I don't know how well versed he is and all that stuff. But Rex, what about you, man?
I will be honest. I forgot that Tales of the Jedi existed. Not that I didn't like it, but it aired at the same time that the Andor series did. I was
right.
immersed in the Andor series. I love that, and I saw Tales of the Jedi like the week after it aired because some friend commented, and I was like, "Oh, it's out already." I thought it was next year. So it's not that I didn't like it because I did, but I was just way immersed in Andor to think about it.
Yeah.
And it wasn't until you brought it on this podcast that I remembered about it. So I really have no expectations. But if it were to be about Jedi, I would like to know about Tari Vizsla a little bit.
Oh, okay.
I
Yeah,
mean-
yeah.
I know Mandalorians are getting kind of overcooked lately, but it would be cool to see a real Jedi Mandalorian besides
Well-
Sabine, like.
Well, yeah,
before.
because we don't know anything about them, so that would be. I mean,
Yeah.
honestly, I'd show up for that. I mean, because he was, and I might be wrong on this. He was the first, wasn't he?
He created the Darksaber.
He has been, well, before Sabine, I think the only Jedi Mandalorian so far.
Yeah.
And I am interested in seeing how was his armor like, honestly. Like,
Yeah, that'd be sick.
Yeah.
Very cool,
Rex,
man.
you talk about the Mandalorians being overcooked. If you look at the 501st, you have to sift through a dirt pond to find that little nugget of gold when it comes to finding like a stormtrooper. Everybody's got a Mandalorian OC. No stormtroopers, no clone troopers, no shinies out there. We need more delusion for some armies.
Yeah.
yeah, I witnessed that because we have here in Mexico, well, in my state, we have this thing called the JediCon, which is like a Star Wars celebration, but here in Mexico, a convention merely for Star Wars. And there were these naturally cosplay contests. The kids were everyone with their costumes, Stormtrooper, Jedi, Leias, and all of that. But the adult category, you have one Darth Vader, which was a helmet and a costume suit, the bow tie and all of that. And every other contestant was a Mandalorian of any kind. Just that. There were 3 Boba Fett's, like 3 shiny Mandos, Din Djarin, it was me with the super colorful Mando. And I think another Boba Fett with a little bit more style, but all the lineup was a Mandalorian with a lightsaber, and that's it. And everyone but me and another folk had a Grogu stuffed toy next to them. So I think they are kind of overcooked. I am helping to that, but I also want to see more of it as well.
Yeah, dude. I mean, that'd be sick to see the creation. Well, since they just destroyed the Darksaber and the last season of Mando, it'd kind of be cool to see.
Started on that.
It'd be cool to see how it was created. Be like, hey, remember this thing? It's dead now, but it's cool to see how.
Still.
No, but for season 2, I mean, there's so many directions. There's so many Jedi that are actually, interesting. I honestly think, I mean, realistically, I think Barrish just got killed because she was in prison. Like she was saying, because like Anakin beats her, and then she probably just got killed by the. But it would be cool to kind of. I would like to see some like interaction between her and Luminara, because that was her master, and like you see that in the 2003 Clone Wars where they're like she's like building her saber and stuff like that, and they're doing all the cool stuff with the invisible droids that are like popping up everywhere. Yeah, but we don't really get a lot of the. I guess Revenge of the Sith, you see him on Kashyyyk. So that's also, now that I'm thinking about that also doesn't add up, right? Because like she couldn't have been in prison because she was on Kashyyyk.
Well, remember also, God, not Barriss, the other one. Eventually has to bite the bullet because in Rebels she gets well,
She's
Kanan's like,
lured
yeah,
in.
Lord. And
Well,
then
I was talking about Barris though.
yeah,
Like
yeah,
Luminara
but
died in Rebels.
yeah,
but,
the timeline between that and whenever that happens. But yeah, that seeing more of them and maybe some of their solo missions and stuff like that, because Lord knows I love JT. Everything, same thing in that same boat. The Tartakovsky series,
Yeah.
love that show, love that series. Any solo with those people, and maybe little hints of just like, I don't know if we're doing the right thing, but we all know where that goes.
But she would have had to, like, I guess, turn back to the light or something like that, because that where she's like doing all that stuff, like framing Ahsoka and stuff like that, that all happens before Revenge of the Sith, and you see her in Revenge of the Sith on Kashyyyk. So like something has to happen between those two, unless it's just like a blooper for them and they just didn't realize that. But like,
Max, if you give it time and you think hard enough, you can make it work.
Yeah, for sure.
There is no reason, and this is a common statement. I don't even know how it's common. It just comes down to just why are people saying this? But they're like, this can't happen in the Clone Wars because this Clone Wars came out first, so this can't happen or whatever.
Yeah.
There is no reason that they can't do this and intertwine.
But that's what I'm saying. That would be cool with the Tales of the Jedi if they kind of showed that, maybe her like falling to the dark side, which you see in Clone Wars, and then kind of her making her way back.
But moments of the Clone Wars are sprinkled so intertwined already, it wouldn't matter, because you only see specific perspectives of characters that are being told the moment you're watching them. Other stuff's happening in the galaxy in different areas. I think it's in. I think you and I talked about this, Max, actually recently, about the shot of the Tartakovsky Clone Wars where Anakin is doing these like flash forwards of just like little battles, and then it cuts to him freeing the Jedi in the bubble, fighting those droids, and then it cuts to him flying to Padme. She touches his face because she realizes he's got a scar, and then his hair changes. Okay, that scar was allegedly given by Ventress in canon, but not officially canon, right? That's Ventress's eye scar that he gave. She gave Anakin got from Ventress.
It happened.
But this stuff happens in the galaxy, even though we don't see it. So there's a lot. One of the perfect examples is the way the 03 Clone Wars ends with them flying up into space, and then Revenge of the Sith starts. You're in space. Then you see Season 7 Clone Wars, and it's Anakin and Obi-Wan in a Venator talking to Ahsoka. Hey, we got to go rescue this Chancellor guy. Whatever. We made a pit stop, and then they go boom. And you see the Order 66 scene from Ahsoka's perspective. All this stuff is happening and coinciding. There's no reason that a lot of this already couldn't intertwine. No matter, like, if anyone says that, just no. just no.
Even the Mace Windu thing, where Grievous and everything like that. Even they mentioned that it's like the only people that were there were Masters Windu, and they say the exact people that were on like the Tartakovsky thing. So I still love it. It's still my thing. Is Grievous turns around, just no stuff.
Well, and
Charlie,
you bring up a good point too, because I don't know what I was listening to the other day, but they were talking about Grievous and how like that was the big thing for people who were around during Revenge of the Sith, because we got the Tarkovsky stuff where Grievous is just like murking people left and right, like he's like super menacing. And then in Revenge of the Sith, he kind of just runs away. Like that's kind of his shtick. And I was like, and they're like, oh, like they like nerfed Grievous, like they didn't do. I'm like, bro, if you got your freaking windpipe crushed, maybe you'd run a little bit too. Like if you got like your freaking Mace Windu, you see Mace Windu over there like speed bagging freaking super battle droids, and he's like, I don't know if I want any of that, bro. Maybe I'm gonna head this way.
And it's a little insult to injury too, because Grievous didn't want to become a droid. He really did not want to lose the warrior way, and being wind
that would be a
crushed like that. It's the allegory, or it's the comparison to how Vader will eventually become, right? Man in the droid shell, right?
It's like poetry.
Yeah, exactly.
The Stanley, that's what the Stanleys were saying. He's like, oh, I want to see like I think we all want to see like a Tales of the Bounty Hunter or Tales of the Sith. That would be a Tales of the Sith, even though he's not really a Sith. I would love. I think it would fit more into that than a Tales of the Jedi.
You
But
see
how Grievous like was like this warrior and showing him in the warrior path, and then basically just showing him basically becoming Grievous, and like I think that would be awesome to see.
there's a comic trade out there called Visionaries. I got it in my closet. It shows Dooku actually shooting down the Kaleesh warrior ship. Grievous
really?
is sitting in this like green bacta tank with his eyes are all pale. He's got a respirator on. He's like floating, like cut in half. It looks like. And then it's him sitting in this, like, you know that shot in Incredibles where they're like the villains layer and there's like the lava wall or whatever. There's like a shot of that with Grievous. That's the background. Grievous is sitting in a throne. Dooku starts egging him on, like, I need you to become a droid or whatever. And he's like, I am not a droid. And he like starts going ham on his own bodyguards. He's like killing the IG Magna Guards, right?
Yeah.
He's like that enraged about the new role that he is forced to get put into. And not a lot of people know this, but the sweaties in here most likely know this. But in the Geonosis arena, Grievous was in the catacombs killing Jedi that couldn't make it to the battle. he was picking them off. I mean, of course they nerfed Grievous, but just think of all the stuff he did in the meantime. He was the weapon.
Yeah. He was aching for revenge, man. Dooku was like, oh, yes, I had nothing to do with that shuttle shooting down. That was the Jedi, man. They did that all alone. I
don't know what you're talking.
It was that Darth Tyrannus guy. I'm Dooku. Yes. I am Count Dooku.
Like, I don't know.
Completely anti-symmetrical.
I think they also, in the Clone Wars show, they also did Grievous justice to reckon. I think he's not as crazy in the Tarkovsky one, but like also too, like the Tarkovsky one is like force powers and the force abilities cranked up to like 100. You know, like it's like it's supposed to be like a it's kind of like a force it's very like Force Unleashed, like power scales are going crazy. It's over 9,000. Like it's crazy.
You actually can see what a live action move does. In the 03 Clone Wars, he does this move in the Battle of Hypori when he like throws a couple out of the way and he's like fighting multiple at once. He's like using his feet to catch the lightsaber and all of that. He does one of these moves where he literally turns into a Beyblade and his entire torso is rotating 360 like that. And it's just a blur. But if you played the Revenge of the Sith video game, and you go into like the Mortal Kombat like duel simulator, I guess.
Such a good time.
You can do one of these grapple moves where he actually does a 360 torso spin just like the 03 Clone Wars. And I didn't click that for the longest time, but that's the live action model of Grievous in that video game. So you can kind of imagine what it would have been like in the movie had he not been winded, quite literally.
Yeah. Winded. Nice. It's like poetry at primes.
But going back to what I want to hear what you guys want to like. What's your most anticipated for you thing that's coming out this year? What you guys looking forward to the most?
I think I gotta say the Filoni movie because it's just kind of like the culmination of all these. Even though it's not new stuff, it's just I guess kind of like the end of a lot of things that are going on right now. But it's basically that. And then for new stuff, I would probably say Acolyte.
Okay. Very cool. Very cool. Whoever wants to go next? You guys go.
Probably the Acolyte. Just with the trailer that we've seen in Celebration, the aesthetic of the whole show. I think that's going to be really interesting to see for the first time. And just delve right into it head on first because I know nothing about the High Republic. And to go in with a show like that will probably make me want to look at all of that extra knowledge that I maybe missed or something like that. Who knows?
Did Andor get pushed back another year?
Yeah, it's 2025.
Yes.
Bloody hell.
Can't pick that one.
We got like Nick there, our buddy Nick Holness from London. He's a huge Andor fan.
You got Acolyte, Skeleton Crew, Bad Batch, Tales. You got Star Wars Outlaws, the Dark Forces remake. You got.
My first game ever play a Star
I don't
Wars.
think Ahsoka season 2. I think that's gonna be next year.
No. Wow, I wish.
But yeah, you got a good thing to pick.
Not
from.
haunted by ghosts. It's not ghosts. You're okay. Oh. Okay. I would definitely, again, for me, one, again, Daphne Keane, who played, Wolverine's daughter, Death Machine. Can't wait to see what she does. But I'm still sticking with Tails, man. I'll never forget that watch party. And JT we all watched, and I had like onion ninjas, and I felt another sorrow for Dooku as it was. I was like,
Yeah.
Oh, that Dooku arc was one of the. I think as far as like Disney Star Wars goes, it's one of the best things that they've produced. I think.
Recently,
I'll plant that flag. I mean, it's up there for me with Clone Wars season 7. Like, I mean, it's just like it has those emotional hits.
I can't narrow Disney Star Wars underneath everything that's came out under Disney because there's a lot of good stuff comic wise and all that that's also came under Disney.
Well, then let me say an animation. I'll say that.
Sure.
I'll throw that. How about that? We'll say animation.
But I'm right there with you where it's something that needed to be shown.
Yeah, special.
Young Qui-Gon.
Sarah, Rex, what about you guys?
Yeah. So I'm actually really excited for Star Wars Outlaws, which is probably an unpopular opinion.
Yeah.
No, not here. Not here. We support video games here.
But I'm just really excited for it because I know everyone's like, it's not going to be full open world, but listen, we'll see what happens when the time comes.
It's more Star Wars video games. We don't have enough.
I know, I'm like,
shut your mouth.
I'm like, there's Star Wars content. Just stop whining already. No, I'm excited for that because it's different. It's something that'll probably get me back into, shooting a gun instead of just waving a lightsaber around, which not trying to flex or anything, but I'm pretty good at. I like that it's a different kind of change of gameplay, and it's more, we'll get to explore more different planets and get a different perspective of a story with, she's not a bounty hunter. She's like a scoundrel, smuggler, scoundrel kind of thing. So
very Han Solo-esque, yeah.
And there's one character, and I don't think maybe some fans have pointed this out, but the guy she talks to in the trailer where she's like, "Oh, get off my ship," he looks a lot like Kyle Katarn.
Dude. If they did that,
I'm like, I doubt it'll be that, but if they do that, I am gonna
be crazy.
I'm just gonna fall out of my chair because
hell, throw Dash Rendar in there too, man. He's a smuggler from that time. Like,
right.
Come on.
It's like the perfect era to do it too. But no, I'm really excited for that. The customization I know alone is going to be crazy, and just exploring is going to be cool. And
I hope it's really like you can customize your ship.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, your ship, probably the pet thing that she has. I don't know what it's called.
Oh yeah.
My mind is on the ND1, the commando droid.
Oh, with the blaster.
Y'all love your clone troopers, but I'm team CIS all the way.
Boo! Not sure.
I don't even care.
Okay.
I don't even care.
Yeah, but that's what I'm excited for this year. I'm really hyped for Star Wars Outlaws. I can't, like, when that drops, I'm like going to be like, no one talks to me for 5 to 10 business days.
And that's early this year, right? I think.
Like they pushed it.
They haven't pushed it, so it's still scheduled to come out this year.
Well, no, I just mean like they pushed it. Like, I think it was like scheduled to come out in like March, and I think now it's coming out like later. Is what I mean. Not like they didn't push it to like 2025, but they pushed it to like, I think like summertime, I want to say, or something.
Okay.
Like that.
It's not the end of the year though. But...
No, I mean, who knows? But
hope not.
Yeah.
Knock on wood.
Find wood.
And then. Sarah, were you done? I don't want to.
Yeah, I'm done. Sorry.
Okay. I just didn't want to move
Max
on.
is like,
more to say.
Are you done?
No, I no, not at all. You paint me in a bad light, man. I want to make sure everybody's voice is heard. That's what I'm trying to. That's what I'm trying to do. Trying to make me look bad over here. Rex, what about you, man? What do you want to see?
Well, for me personally, Bad Batch season 3, because Clone Wars season 10 is always exciting to see. We don't usually get that much of a cliffhanger in Star Wars, not usually, and season 2 ending was just straight up like, okay, what happens next? And that was the ending. We didn't see anything. One thing I don't want to see happening on season 3 as much as I would love to is Tech coming back to life. Like I think his
Or
sacrifice
them
was
chilling on Pabu for like 60 episodes.
yes.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I mean, I love his character. I love his armor much more than everyone else, but his sacrifice was fine. I think he should rather just stay dead. But I think they will bring him back just for whatever reason, and will be like Echo B 2.0 or something.
Mhm.
But for
They
me, the
clone
most
him
part,
again, but with faster aging.
Oh
Even
my
faster.
god, no! He needs to stay dead. Like that, it makes it better.
It ruins the
Oh,
sacrifice.
Yeah.
it totally
What's the
would.
point
Yeah.
of the
Let
sacrifice?
him die.
As,
Yeah,
as
like-
cool as like Bad Batch is too, or at least season 1 and season 7 in my opinion. Season 2 kind of fell off IMO. With
I was there
with,
with you.
with Echo coming back, it makes you look at the Citadel arc like, no, Echo, we've learned about this guy and we're connecting to him. He's gone. All of a sudden, Echo's back.
I'm the
I'm like,
squad. Damn it. Yeah.
okay, so Echo's back now. Like I don't understand. I'm a little bit fed up with the Star Wars cameo character
Well,
returning.
hopefully this time around they're ready to fight now. Hopefully it's not them chilling on Pabu or going for a mission for Sid for 6 episodes. Hopefully it's actually about stuff we care about, which
Get
would make it better.
flashbacks just thinking about that.
I got a
again.
job for you guys.
Just go back and watch our rewatch parties on Strike's channel. Like my face was just dead at that
Oh,
point.
dude, yeah. It's
I wish
so
the Kraken would come out of the ocean, just kill them all.
Rex, was that it, or did you have anything else to add?
no, I think that's it. I mean, in terms of video games, I don't know because I don't even own a console.
Yeah.
Everything I know about it is because of social media, and that's it.
Yeah, everything's
That's
still
all.
kind of new. With all the video games are in rumorville. We haven't really seen much. Professor Peak, man, what you got? What you want to see, man?
You know, it really don't matter to me. I just want to be entertained, entertained, entertained.
That's
I want to
fair.
be surprised, happy, be able to express it with all my friends. And I'll
Hell
be
yeah.
fine.
Are you not entertained?
How did I know a Gladiator reference was coming?
It's somewhere. Well, I think for me, I want to say Star Wars Outlaws, but like I just haven't seen enough yet. I would say like that's probably like most anticipated, but I think I'm gonna also have to go with Tales. Like I think Tales is just like I know what we got with season 1, season 2. I think is gonna be just as good. So I'm really excited for that. But yeah, maybe once we get some more Star Wars Outlaws, like actual gameplay than just the 2-second like really manufactured gameplay version that we got, the little snippet. I'll be more hyped for that. We also got like Dark Forces remake, which I think will be really cool. Star Wars Hunters is supposed to come out this year, but we'll see on that one. It's just kind of like a Overwatch for Star Wars, but yeah, I want to kind of end this because we're at about an hour 17. We've been chatting for a hot minute with kind of what you guys have planned for 2024, like whether it be just dreams or aspirations that you have, or something Star Wars related. I mean, if you do have Star Wars, say the Star Wars one. But if it's just let me just know what you guys what your goals are for 2024, and we'll kind of just end it on a high note. And we'll start with we'll just kind of go down the line. Nick, you're first on my screen, so we'll start with you.
Sure. Well, I don't have any long-term ones at the moment, but just currently we have the Kestis, a Star Wars story fan film,
Heck yeah.
coming out in about a week. So pretty excited for that, to go to the premiere and all that.
Stay tuned for the watch party.
Yeah, we'll have a watch party and all that. So I'm excited for that. In terms of for my business, I'm working on a few different products to sell. One is Cal's Grapple. And
Nice.
I don't have any here, but I have the name plaque storm that I have made up. I'm doing two versions. One's like his grapple, and then the other product is going to be Sabine Wren's paint sprayer, her live action version. And they'll basically come as the prop, life size, on a display base with like little name plaques saying what they are.
I actually think I have your the sprayer over here.
Shiny.
Yeah, so then I'll just put those on the fronts of those, and the guy I get these from, he even has a version with an area for a signature. So I'll also make a secondary version for each one, so that if people go to like a convention, they can get the plaque signed by that actor or actress too, and have it
see
displayed
if I
like
can
that. So there's
pull on
the
the
paint
sprayer.
sprayer.
I don't have the I didn't grab the trigger because it's not glued
Yeah,
in yet. But yeah,
they pop out very easy.
Good man.
I haven't
Yeah,
glued
so
it
just
yet.
So basically, be that, and then on a stand with the display piece and everything. So that's I think the most recent thing. Apart from some custom orders, I'm working on MJ's taser from the Spider-Man 2 game. I'm working on Riptide from the new Percy Jackson show for someone. And that one's going to be cool because I'm printing it in clear resin because then he's going to put a light through the middle so the
Ooh.
middle like shines out. So that'll be fun to do.
Nice.
Cool.
But yeah, I don't have any. It's always short-term things. I never have
That's fine.
a long-term goal. So
No, dude.
Yeah.
It's good. It's
Keep me
whatever you
busy,
want to
though.
share. Yeah, just
Yeah,
whatever you want to share. As far as like your, it doesn't have to be like, oh, by day 735, I want to have
another
everything.
resin printer.
yeah. But no, dude, that's super cool. Are you doing any conventions this year?
I'll
as far as
probably
that
try to
goes?
hit Tampa Bay Comic Con again. That's always the one I've just been doing for the past. I think this would be year 4 that I would be doing it now, and
Okay.
just a lot of fun. Meet a lot of people,
Yeah.
new and people that follow me. It's always fun when people are just like, "Oh, you're him. That's I follow you on social media and stuff.
You're
I bought
him.
from you
You're
before."
Himothy.
Yeah,
Nice,
that's always
dude.
fun. But yeah, I'll probably do Tampa Bay again.
Heck yeah, dude. Definitely go check him out if you guys are in the area for sure. It's really cool.
Nick, isn't your printer named like Denise or something too?
Yeah, so one's Denise and the other is Fred. I have Fred and Denise. I had to name so I can keep track of like, 'cause I make like printing schedules for him each week. I have like the name of the file, then how long they take because my printers aren't in my home; they're somewhere else at my shop. So it just helps me keep track of when they'll be done and stuff. So just a name for each one just helps.
I thought you were
Fred
like,
and Denise.
I thought you were going like Sith mode or something like that. I saw on your Instagram stories like, Denise, you have failed me, and I'm like, what? Whoa, back up! What did that say?
There's someone else here. Are they safe? Are they okay?
You failed me.
Yeah, I just name mine or just whatever slang I want to throw at it, like fuckhead or piece of shit. when they mess up, however they mess up, I'm just like fucking throw it out the window. Don't even give it a name. Those are mine. Those are my little cute nicknames for it. JT, what about you, man? What you got stirring for this year?
I'm a little bit in the same boat, like short term, whatever comes up immediate. But what is actually cool is, if you don't know, Sarah announced publicly that she is doing a 3rd audiobook called Rebirth, featuring Cal Kestis kind of fan fiction storyline going on, and I will be playing a character named Aiden, who is this dark side, power hungry person. And we're currently in the workings for that, and it's very promising. So
nice, man.
Long term, that eventually when it comes out, yes. But stay tuned for that.
What about the droid, dude?
The droid, I found it. So I found a guy to paint it, but it's hard to contact him. Unfortunately,
Weird.
Unless one of you want to fly out, I'll buy your plane ticket. No, I'm just kidding. I'm saving up for Japan. But yeah, the droid is sitting in my dad's shop on the floor, all primed up.
So he's just ready to go. He just needs to be painted, essentially.
It's got some little tweaking here and there, but a lot of it. So the way it was printed is. It was the first of its own file. The dude didn't even finish his own, right? He only did the head and like the upper part of the torso. I got the full droid, right? He stopped. I'm also very off and on with it. So a lot of the stuff is custom. I can't ask him like, hey, what'd you do for this? He's like, you're gonna figure it out. So I'm in like Home
Dang.
Depot looking for custom screws and stuff like that, like trying to like.
Hey,
Should
can you
I
help me assemble this droid?
Should I limit this guy's mobility by screwing his kneecaps together? Like questions like this, right?
Also, for context, he's building a commando droid. For those who
Yeah.
don't know,
Which is one of them from the Clone Wars that they do like the ninja flips. They got the magnet shoes. They do the Matrix like force push thing and they got the swords and all that. But yeah, it's a weird custom on and off willpower kind of thing. It's dead weight. It's like a literal human dead weight. Like you pick up its arm, it flops down, and it could break if it flops down. So I'm like being very careful, like just even sitting him up, right? So I have a lot of things like the back brace on how I'm gonna figure out having him stand up where the weight is like distributed evenly, and just a lot of little problems like that. But for the most part, just minor tweaking in those senses, and then paint, and then we're good to go.
Very cool, man.
Yeah.
Got anything planned for your channel? I know you've been kind of dipping your toes into the water with the YouTube thing, but I didn't know if you had any ideas or anything like that you had.
I had a concept that I shared with my friends here that was very brief, but since I own the physical comic book runs, I think I'm only like 5 or 6 stories off of owning everything Dark Horse has printed. Almost every first print too. A couple of them are trades, but yeah, it's like it's a lot. You see my closet, but I wanted to do something where I basically go through an entire series, break down the stuff we liked, what we didn't like, bring on guests individually, have them do their homework. Maybe I got to figure out a way, maybe through StreamYards or something, to maybe get like a camera that is like an easel view, so it's like down, so I can like flip the pages open, but you can see both of our cans as well. So I don't know. It's all work in progress. But the book club,
Stanley's.
Yeah, exactly. Bedtime stories. That's a good way to put it. But it'll be for the more EU desiring crowd of Star Wars people, those who are informed and want a reminder, or those who are learning about it and want to dig in more. So it's a concept channel wise, but it is what it is.
There's so many people out there now just doing like all the modern stuff to just kind of keep up with that. So I think that'll be really good to diversify with that for sure.
There's a lot of channels that do the cookie cutter, just do the scrolling digital version of the comic that comes across the page, and they narrate a basic script of just what's going on.
Yeah, it's a short summary of each.
I want to break down, and because especially since I have the physical issue, I can be like, wait, I didn't see that. Remember last time and that ties in with this movie, so, stuff like that.
Very cool, man. Very cool. Charlie, you're up next, man. What you got for 2024?
Oh God. Well, I had to take a break for a little bit, but thankfully back to doing stuff. What we got in? Well, yeah, right.
Well,
we got a lot.
Surviving conventions. That's
Yeah.
2024. We got one going to next month in Concord, North Carolina, Master Party. And then, oh my goodness,
Star Wars people at GalaxyCon.
yeah.
Daniel
Are you guys
Logan.
planning on meeting anybody when you're
Daniel
going?
Logan's gonna be there.
Oh, nice.
We got the. I had a weird hunch that I contacted GalaxyCon and got us the VIP stuff. So
Ooh, nice.
we got full access to like his panels and stuff like that if we choose to do that. Which
Surviving conventions.
2024. Yes.
Who are you guys planning on trying to meet? If you already have got stuff set up, let us know that too. But is there anybody that's been announced that you're like, oh, I gotta meet them?
I mean,
we got some fan favorites
Yeah,
like
just-
Tom Welling, Michael Rosenbaum, the Fathers, Jonathan Kent, Lionel Luther.
Love that man.
Yeah. Then for Raleigh GalaxyCon, there's Ron Pierman, Linda Hamilton, Masters. Masters, Spike himself.
James Masters, Spike, bloody hell,
Yeah, so
Brainiac, all that sort of jazz.
surviving conventions.
Yes.
2023.
Very cool, man.
And
Very cool. I
since,
feel that.
and since the strike has been over, there's been more like of them being announced and everything like that. But yeah, Dante, who played in Hook, Rufio, and also played in Avatar: Last Airbender, is going to be there. I have to hear a Robin Williams story.
Oh yeah, dude.
So they're still being announced, but there's that. Besides the convention stuff, it's being rendered. But a friend of mine, Shane Farley, we beat the crap out of each other last year at the beach doing a saber fight. And
Nice.
I'm nothing with. I don't know how to do that whole sort of stuff, but yeah, we did that for a good 45 minutes to an hour. But yeah, that whenever that comes out, that comes out. You actually got some stuff with your pops, don't you?
Oh, you talking about
Dude, advertise it. You're damn good at this.
what? Yeah, big time.
Shut up.
Let us know, man. Time to shine.
Nothing.
All right. I won't push anymore. Sarah, what about you, man? What about you?
Oh man. What don't I have planned is the better question. Well, I guess in terms of the big content project, as JT kind of already JT kind of announced. I mean, it's kind of public knowledge on my channel, but this is my first live announcement. So I am working on, for those of you who have been following me, I work on Cal Kestis fan fiction stories, and my third book is coming out this year. JT, like he said, is going to be the main voice or the main villain in my story, a dark Jedi named Aiden, who is just power hungry, and he's going to do everything he can to get it. And he doesn't care if Cal's in his way. And speaking of Cal Kestis, even though the voice actor isn't here today, the star of the Kestis movie, Wesley Hamilton, will be playing Cal Kestis in my book. So he will be the voice of Cal Kestis.
Who is also the same Cal that's going to be in these two guys' fan film coming out very shortly as well.
It all connects.
It all connects. Yeah, look at that. We have our own little MCU.
But yeah, literally, it's a small world, and
it all revolves around Wes.
all with one ginger and a poncho. It's still in the writing stages. It's almost done. The recording sessions are still going. I'm gonna yell at Wes and JT later to get on it. I'm kidding. But yeah, that's my third book. My third book's coming out this year. I'm also going to be doing narration in the story as well. I'm going to be Night Sister Marin, and a original character I made entirely on my own. Her name is Annika Jallo, and she was also a Jedi Knight who lost her parents during Order 66, and her and Cal meet at some point in my first two books. And I don't want to say too much from there unless you read it or listened to it, but that's all I'll say for now. But that's kind of my big project on my channel that's coming out this year. So fingers crossed it comes out this year, because it's a big project, but that's kind of where I'm aiming for this year.
Heck yeah. If you guys want to check out her channel or any of their channels or any of their stuff, all their links are down below and stuff like that as well. So you guys can go give all these awesome people the credit and the eyes that they deserve. Rex, what about you, man? The final frontier, man. The final one.
Yes. Well, I actually.
No.
Last year.
Okay,
hold on. Start over. You froze. Start over.
All right. Let me rewind it. I have some projects that I started last year, or that I planned at least.
Mm-hmm.
The very first one that I will hope I finish first, at least, is this, a Rebel helmet, actually.
Ooh,
Uh,
nice.
so I'm still masking it to paint it. This is the very first thing I make that is not Clone Wars or Mandalorian. Like it is the only thing from the original trilogy thing that I have made so far.
Are you
Uh,
doing like a custom with that? Or are you doing like your own squadron? Or are you trying to replicate it off of something else? Or what are you doing with that
well,
comic?
a little bit of both. Same style because why not?
Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Sick. Are you gonna
Uh,
do this the scales with it too?
no, this one it was a smooth thing because it was for Galactus Armory contest that he made in November, I think. But I got
Oh, okay.
sick.
Yeah, yeah.
I got sick. I just couldn't complete it, and spray painting it with my lung condition was killing me. So I simply just dropped it. I picked it up in December recently, and I still going. I only have two full costumes planned. The year one is the Mandalorian slash Transformers crossover I made.
Dude, I'm so excited for that one. That one looks so cool every time you're
All right.
posting about it in
I
the
have
chat.
a section of the jetpack completed
Yeah, dude, that
already.
looks good.
Uh,
Nice.
this is actually one of the biggest things I made so far. I cannot complete it because it's actually going to weigh like 6 kilograms completed,
Oh
plus the
wow.
smoke section, and that's something that I plan to finish by June because that's when we have our Star Wars convention. And I want to leave Mandosaurus rest a little bit. I have that since 2019. I think it's good enough to let it rest. Um, I also want to finally complete my rotary cannon. Like this thing,
Oh, dude, that thing looks so freaking cool. Every time you post about it, I'm like,
Terminator.
damn, that looks
Oh
sick.
my
I love how he just brings these things in the frame. He's like, oh, I also want to complete my rotary cannon.
and one Easter egg it has is also this thing.
It's
Oh, it
awesome.
lights up.
Oh!
Nice, nice, nice. Heck
It
yeah,
was there was a Christmas photo shoot that I was invited to,
I was
Mhm.
gonna say, it
and
looks like a candy cane. It's awesome.
Ho ho ho! I'm going down.
Santa uses
democracy in
on all,
Christmas
everybody
season.
that's naughty. You don't get coal, you get, or maybe you do get pelted by coal. That
Let's bring Christmas to the Confederacy of Independent Systems because why not?
I got that reference. Good job.
Hey,
The
technically,
world is
religion's
yours.
a part of Star Wars because Han says,
No,
"See you in hell"
Oh yes,
and Empire. So
Christmas is canon in Spanish-speaking countries as well,
nice.
thanks to the Clone Wars. Yeah, I mean that. I think that's it for Star Wars for me. Oh well, I am making some credits because I still cannot find mine. They probably were stolen, or maybe I lost them. I don't know. But
He's like, some pirate dropped these off at my house. I don't know.
Credits are always fun to me. I haven't made any out of the when I'm like working on like my final prints for my resin printer, but I'm definitely planning on doing some actually Nick, your credits. I'm gonna print some of those off, and then we were talking about doing the some like custom credits and stuff like that too. I definitely want to try that. But sorry, I tangent. Go ahead, Rex.
yeah, no problem. I mean, I have so many filaments with like, oh, this filament is not enough to print anything, but it's also not too little to just drop it away. So
I know the
just
struggle.
yeah, I was like, okay, I want to print something and I want to waste material. Why not do both at the same time? And I'm making a ton of those, and
Nice.
one of the other minor projects I have is making a wizard staff. But I want it to be bright, like Gandalf when he's riding the horses, his stuff glows enough to be seen within daylight. I want something
Okay.
similar. I have this thing made kind
Oh
of
wow.
to this point. Like this crystal is printed, glows in the dark, all of that. But my idea is to add an LED light bulb, same thing you have on your room. Because why not? I mean, I want to burn something at some point or get shocked. Whatever works fine for me. Uh,
It
and
kind of reminds me of the I don't know if any of you guys play Skyrim, but the soul gems, like the way that they were aligned, it kind of reminds me of the soul gems in Skyrim. It looks really cool, man.
Neat.
well, I got the idea from the Owl House because some friends did. When I got into my university, there was this welcome party thing, and there was a Disney theme for our generation, and my classroom chose the Owl House. I have never seen that before. I didn't care about it, but I was like, okay, I'm a cosplayer. I think I should do something to show off. I'm very humble sometimes, and came up with that stuff in 4 hours, and that's it. I dropped it. That for the whole year. That was in January. Like 3 weeks ago, it was like, okay, what is good with the Owl House that so many people saw it but me? And I finished it. I was like, the thing does not have merchandise. I am bored. I think I will just complete that for once. And I am starting to learn electricity again without causing any major problems into my neighborhood again.
Major problems. I want to know about the minor problems that you've caused around your neighborhood.
Oh well, the thing is that there aren't any minor problems. All of them are major for some reason.
Somebody's toaster up from next door.
Well, for legal reasons, I am not allowed to say that in public.
Oh, very cool, man. It sounds like you got some good projects. I'm excited to see, especially that Transformers one, man. I like that you kind of have the way that you're creative. You're moving like the Mando with the Jurassic Park. Now you're doing the Mando with the Transformers. I kind of like that you're out of the box thinking and stuff like that, and it really brings I'm not trying to crap on anybody because like seeing a whole bunch of stormtroopers are great, but when you're making stormtrooper, it gets kind of repetitive sometimes. So it's cool to see people who do out of the box things too. Have more variety. So that's awesome.
You were the first person that I know that owns a Christmas themed rotary cannon.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I mean, I love the concept. I want to bring that rotary cannon with the Transformers costume, but I also don't want to take away the Christmas spirit, so I might as well just make a second one.
Bro, you need to make season for every season. Like make a Halloween one, make like a Valentine's Day one. Like have a rotary cannon for all the, or make it to where you could like change the skins out of it or something like that. Like,
I wish I could do that. Well,
maybe for the next one, you build the next one and make it like interchangeable or something like that.
Yeah, that's why I want to make a second one, because this was just like I made it for a Halloween contest thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I fall asleep that day. I didn't go, so
no,
it was painful because I made the full cannon in under 20 hours.
Oh wow!
Yeah, I feel proud of that, but I want to make it like at least that it could spin. So like
that'd be cool.
It look cool, But that's why I want to finish it before June or July at least. I say I have enough time, but I will probably make it in 2 weeks again. Because I'm very good at planning my time.
Yeah.
And the other thing that I haven't done before is making a costume without printing something. I want to make a Megazord from Power Rangers.
Oh, okay.
At first you had my attention, but now you really did.
What are you gonna? If you don't, you said you didn't want to print it.
No, because I printed the mini version just to have some like good view, 360 view.
Mm-hmm. What are you gonna make it out of if you're not printing it? What's your plan?
Well, in the Tokusatsu series, back in Japan, they use laminated neoprene for the most part because it is inexpensive, it is lightweight, but it is also very hot, and they only do a 5-second shot, then cut, another shot, they cut. You cannot see it, but there in my wall I have a life-size version of the costume, because I want to make it out of cardboard, because you find that thrown away on every corner, like here where I live. Mm-hmm. Everyone just takes away their cardboard because it's going to be recycled or sold by kilograms. Like, it is very cheap. I can reinforce it with glue and a little bit of, what was it called, newspaper, I think. Like, it is pretty inexpensive, it is cheap, it is lightweight. But I have never done this kind of work, neither with EVA foam or cardboard or anything. So it is like a new thing for me. And while I can simply print it, but it will be a lot of material. I already got a quote for Master Chief last year, and it was over 12 kilograms, and this thing is even more massive. Like, it just won't work for me, neither for my economy. And I want to like step away from my comfort zone a little bit this year, because why not?
That's awesome. Yeah. Especially, I think it's important as an artist that you you kind of get comfortable in certain things. It's good to be that uncomfortability is good for artists and for people in general. But especially as an artist, that's cool. I didn't know, so I misinterpreted. I thought you were making like a statue. You're making like the Megazord, like you're making it to where like you could be in it.
Yeah, I want to make the Megazord costume, because
That's awesome, dude.
I mean,
Super
it's
cool.
Yeah. Big robot. That's the only reason.
You just need to have have a space for it where you can just like have like a boom box in there or something like that. So you just go Power Rangers, have like the guitars wailing and stuff like that in the background.
Yeah, even if you wanted to break off into different franchise too, like you said, you were gonna make another rotary cannon. If you could figure out how to mount the Gatlins onto like each arm, you can be like you can be like a Wolfenstein boss from like the N64.
That'd
like
be sick.
halt,
Yeah.
like
Power Rangers.
Mint. Yeah.
I've never seen this Power Rangers before. What the hell is going on?
It's got a minigun.
Suck it, buddy.
Oh man, well, that's cool, man. I'm glad that you're doing your thing. That's cool. I didn't also know you wanted to make a Master Chief. That's definitely on my. I mean, I'm kind of in the same boat you are. That's way too much filament and time and effort right now. But that's definitely on my cosplay list. Is do Chief eventually from probably 3. 3 is my favorite Halo, so I'd probably do that armor set. But yeah, man, that's awesome. Very cool. Well, guys, we're almost at like 2 hours here. We've been chatting it up, man. We've been chopping it up. So I appreciate you guys coming on and talking. We're definitely gonna be doing more of these. I love just sitting here when we don't really have much topics. We just kind of just let it flow and let the chaos ensue. It's always fun talking with you guys. So
before we went live, Max is like, yeah, GT, I think it's gonna be a chill stream. We're just gonna make it short. I don't know, 20-25 minutes. How does that sound? I'm like, whatever. Yeah. We're an hour, $1:45.
Yeah, I shouldn't. I always say I'm like, oh yeah, it's just gonna be like short. With us, I know it's never a short thing.
Never
We always
short,
love talking, but it's great. That's what we get lost in having fun and having a good time. So it's a good thing to have. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. Again, all their links will be down below. Go check all of them out. They're doing, as you just heard, amazing shit. So just go show them some love. And yeah, I guess unless you guys have anything else to say, we'll close this bad boy out.
I just wanted to shout out one channel because they rebranded and they're friends of all of ours.
Oh yeah, do it.
The YouTube channel Avela Vandella, our friend who ran that channel, rebranded into a co-op channel. So now it's Avela and Strike 721. Both of them are running the channel Iron Hearts, which is Avela's channel, but rebranded into that name. They're going to be uploading a bunch of different style content, but go check it out. They just posted a video like 2 days ago. They went to Lake Como, which is where Padme and Anakin got married.
They had me rolling with that video. Here, at the end, I hate Italy, but I love Naboo.
Dude, I love Avela's dad, man. The legend.
Cracking me up. But here, they let me. I'm gonna pull it up real quick because nope. There we go. That's their channel. Definitely go show them some love because they do some awesome stuff. Yeah. So that's the
homies. Look that's my face right there on the bottom right. That's approval. That's approval right there.
But yeah, definitely go show them some love. But yeah, again, thank you guys for watching and hanging out with us. We love talking with you guys. We love nerding out with just each other and stuff like that. So thank you guys for watching, and as always, may the force be with you.